Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every day. If you could head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button, and of course, drop a like on the video. Show your love. Tonight, we said we do like a little bonus show because we put out our Brentford preview. We will be back tomorrow night post game for match reaction and player ratings. Hopefully, we get the right result. We definitely need it if we want to keep a card in this top four race. And we said tonight we'd have a look at the top four race. That's going to be the main bulk of the show tonight. Only a short show tonight, probably about 15, 20 minutes. But we'll have a look at a few things as well on our way. Of course, some stuff that came out today and some images as well that sort of had a note with us. But we'll start with this one before we get in top four race. What did you make today of the new kit coming out? I like the new kit. I like the finish on the neck and on the sleeves and stuff. I think it really makes it. Morris is in. How are you, Morris? Any Lampard updates? He's still in the job as far as I know, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But look at these boys looking all dapper. I wasn't sure whether they were modelling a football jersey or whether they were going out for a game of golf. Maybe they were heading to Augusta to the Masters or something like that. But when you see the likes of Matip and Kanate and Van Dijk and stuff like that, they can really pull it off. Look at Luis Diaz and all, isn't it? It is indeed, Ace, or spot on. Mark is in as well. Basically need to get as many points as possible. We certainly do, Mark. We need to win all our games and see what happens. Let's just keep the pressure on, keep going. It's nice. It's the 73 Cup final, kid. It is indeed. Uh, Feels very bland compared to previous kits. It is a little bit bland, but you know something? Sometimes the simpler they do it, the nicer it can be when we get it and stuff like that. But certainly the boys always make it look absolutely fab as well. And it's just, yeah, like even Jordan there, Jordan and Cody and all in the playing slacks and stuff like that. These all look, and the girls making it look stunning as well. But the boys look like they're off out on a golf day or something like that, don't they? They got the shades, they got the Ian Poulter bottoms there on Darwin and stuff like that, and Luis Diaz and all ready to go. I think they look electric, and I really, really like it. Looks the business. So let us know your thoughts on this stuff, Mark. A bit bland, of course, yeah, but we shall see. Morris is in. Like to see you in the checkers, man. I used to wear them years ago when I did a bit of golf. In fairness, you know. And the Kevin Keegan sideburns, yeah, absolutely, Kevin Keegan sideburns. We're going right back there now, aren't we? We're rolling back the years tonight. I like that in the chat, lads. Nice, nice, nice. But we shall see. Looks nice. I like it. Sometimes I like just simple. Um, Wearing it for Aston Villa game on the 20th of May. Oh, are we? That's what I was actually on Dave's show earlier, and I made the point you normally wear it on the last day, but it'll be the last home day. So hopefully they're wearing it for the Villa game. Yeah, that'd be really, really cool. Yeah, like to see it and stuff like that. Now, this one came out today, and I tell you, I wouldn't be too upset if this was going to happen. But we've been heavily linked, obviously, with Alexis McAllister. Um, and I hope it happens. I really like this boy. I mean, he was absolutely brilliant last night. Took control of the penalty right at the death to beat United. Don't think we get both of them. We wouldn't be that lucky, or Brighton wouldn't be that naive to empty out the gas tank that much. But it'd be pretty cool. But I have to say, McAllister looks pretty cool in that kit. And when you look at that picture there, guys, and compare it to the previous one, that's what I mean about finishing the neck. If you look at this year's kit, it looks like as if they left something off the top, like a little collar or something. It's just like it just looks unfinished, to me. Um, Mark is in. The black and purple looks okay. Not sure on the black with it though. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the purple kits are always I have the purple over there with the orange that came out there a few years ago and stuff like that. So an interesting one and stuff like that. I do like the green one this year. I have the disco one over there as well, but I don't think I've put it on me. It doesn't suit that those color combinations don't suit a man of my girth, as they say. So I got it and I put it away. Um, Liverpool were told that both players together will cost them 150 million for both of them. That might be the way to go. Let's see what happens. Both men were sensational last night. Caicedo, of course, had a little bit of an iffy start in the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes with Rashford and stuff like that. But boy, did he come into that game. He was sensational. Never want a white kid again. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't seem right. I know I have one around somewhere. What was the white kit? The white kit with the green Carlsberg, wasn't it? And it had the black trim. Was it the black trim with the red or with the orange? or something like that, or black with the green or something like that. I can't remember what years it was. Tour kit is so nice, the away kit. Yeah, absolutely. Gert, wonderful. You did like that, Morris, didn't you? Yeah, absolutely. You can't imagine me, Morris. You know me, Morris. You can't imagine me wearing that white jersey. Good Lord. Absolutely. This is one that got me in the fields today, I have to say. This was a tough one. Fabrizio Romano tweeting out that the deal is more or less done and agreed with James Milner going to Brighton. I'm looking James Milner there in a Brighton kit, and it just doesn't feel right, And I went back over some of his best moments in Liverpool today and all that kind of thing, and the parade and all, when we were parading the trophy, and he made a point of going to Andrew Devine's house to present the trophy to him and all, and how it meant so much to him and stuff like that, to both of them and stuff. Andrew then passing away, of course, and becoming the 97 member of the Hillsborough disaster, basically, So it meant a lot to James as well. And I often say to people, when people ask me about James Milner, I don't talk about James Milner, the player. I talk about James Milner, the human being. He's just an unbelievable human being. The foundation that he has in developing youth and giving everyone an opportunity to play this wonderful sport that we all follow and that he's played all his life, and everything that he does for around Liverpool and stuff like that. He's just a sensational person and stuff like that. And the videos that go out and all are great, the right bean and stuff and all that kind of stuff. He's just an unbelievable. When you think of when you want to define someone who's a professional footballer, we think James Milner, don't we? So yeah, but it was tough to see him, and that it's going to feel very, very weird next season. Just hope he comes back home soon. He will. There's no doubt he will. Absolutely. I think it's probably such a huge adjustment. If you think about this kid, he's been playing since he's been 16. So imagine the adjustment he has to make to make that decision to step over that line and give up football and take on retirement and maybe go into coaching or whatever he wants to do. No matter what James Milner does, he will be a success at it. There's no doubt about it. But I just think it must be such a tough decision. He's 37, 38 now or whatever it is. So 22 years of his life he's been playing football. What else does he really know? And to make that decision and have to step over that line and go, okay, it's getting real close now. I have to make another decision and stuff like that. So it must be tough on the lad, but absolutely. Morris in the comments, if only Leeds weren't in so much danger, Milner would have went there. And boy, do they need someone like him. Yeah, absolutely. In fairness, though, they didn't do too bad. Yeah, maybe on the pitch, you mean, Morris, obviously, yeah. But I like the dynamic of Robbie Keane and Big Sam. It's interesting. Big Sam the other day in the press conference and all turned around and going, yeah, if I could only get him to shut up. And that isn't that such a definition of Robbie Keane when you think about it and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely, Leeds in serious trouble. Hope they get out of it, in fairness. I do like Leeds in the Premier League, I have to say. Real old school Premier League team, I only feel as he wants more game time and he won't get it with us. Yeah, absolutely. And in fairness, if you look at this year and the way it's panned out, Mark, we have given him a whole heap of game time this year that he wouldn't have been expecting to get at all. I'm sure when he signed that extension last year, he was probably thinking, yeah, some Carabao Cup, maybe a little bit of early days FA Cup, and maybe the odd appearance here and there coming on for 20 minutes or 15 minutes to shut a game down when we're in the lead and stuff. Boy, oh boy, has he had to play. Asus is in. Reebok also released their version of 73 kit in 1998. Yeah, absolutely. That was the one I was talking about earlier, Asus, on Dave's LFC chats. It was the one that had, remember the big patch on it? It was like a patch. It was nearly what we call it on the show. It was like an old beer mat. That's what it looked like. Ian's in the comments. How are you, Ian? What's the crack? All good, my man? What's happening, Morris? Think he's gonna be great. Yeah, he is, absolutely. Hello, Mr. Hodgins. Happy weekend. City attack will be like Rottweilers against Leeds defense. Absolutely. I was looking at Leeds today and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, the goal difference is healthy enough compared to Forest. I think there's a difference of 10 between them or something like that in terms of goal difference. But then I was thinking, Leeds are going to play City, right? And I'm thinking, Haaland has broken every goddamn record this year. They're hardly going to go and put 10 past Leeds, are they? And break that other record as well. Just imagine what would happen. Be unbelievable. Morris is in 16-1 Leeds, 7-1 the draw. Yeah, huge odds, Morris. Should be more. In fairness, don't waste your money on any of that. If you want to get good odds in that game, go maybe Man City -3 or something like that in the handicap bet or something like that. Don't go near any of that. That's madness. That's foolish hoping as a gooner. Don't be thinking that way. I did it as a Liverpool fan. I thought about every single team beating Man City when we needed them to get beaten, and it just sometimes doesn't happen. So don't be looking there. I don't care how good Sam Allardyce is or was. They don't have the manpower. They don't have the players at the back to stop it. And it doesn't matter who you put in there. The gravy train is hitting the Etihad tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine? What needs to happen to get an Arsenal title win? Uh, Oh, what do they call it? Miracles. Miracles, I think, at this stage. I don't look, if you hang with them and you're close enough and stuff like that, look, anything can happen. There can be an upset. But we just know from this Man City team and from Pep, they're absolutely relentless. And when they stare down the barrel of those final 6, 7, 8 games or whatever it is, it's just boom, 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 like robots. Unreal. So let's see what happens. No need to be calling me Mister. I'm only age 41. You'll always be Mr. to us, Mr. Hodgins. So there you go. Let's look at this top 4. Let's have a quick chat about it and stuff like that. So we have the table as it stands there. And then we have all the different fixtures. I wonder if I change this up, will it look a bit better from my small now? It looks worse. So I'll go this way. Or maybe this way. No, that way I'll do fine. Yeah, so we're going to look at this. Mark, still young Ian, yeah, absolutely. 100%. So we're going to look at this top 4, and what I thought is I'd have a look at the kind of fixtures that are left and stuff to see how it's going to go and where points could be dropped and how we see it kind of panning out. I think for us to have any chance, we have to apply the pressure to Man United and Newcastle. I was hoping that United might drop some points to Aston Villa, but it didn't happen. Aston Villa on the day were nowhere near where they should be. With Newcastle as well, Newcastle have an interesting run in as well. They've got Arsenal tomorrow, which could be tricky. And of course, if Arsenal were to pick up the win there, we'd be 3 points off Newcastle so long as we can beat Brentford. We beat Brentford tomorrow and they play Newcastle and Arsenal on Sunday. But then they've got Leeds. I don't expect too much to happen there. Brighton could be a difficult one. Leicester could be on the beach at that stage, and Chelsea have been on the beach all season. So I'm not too sure what way Newcastle's run will go. But for Brighton, if you look at Brighton have Everton up next. You would expect them to get a result there. Arsenal is going to be a tricky one, should be interesting. Newcastle, very, very tricky. Southampton, I'd imagine, will be dusted at that stage. City is going to be very tricky, and Aston Villa is going to be tricky. So Brighton have quite a very tough run in. So they will probably fade away out of this situation, even though they've got extra games. If you look at us at the moment, Brentford is going to be really, really tough tomorrow. That's going to be a tight game, but hopefully we get over the line, don't do anything silly. Leicester away, we should have enough. Aston Villa home is going to be an interesting one as well. Emery doing a fantastic job with Aston Villa. They did dip the other day against Man United in terms of their performance, but you would expect them to bounce back. So they're the 2 difficult ones. The 2 home ones, and thank God they're at home, are going to be the 2 difficult ones. Southampton on the last day of the season, they will be gone. No doubt about it at this stage. And Leicester, let's see how Leicester, where they are at that stage. It's the next game up after Brentford, obviously, so they won't be relegated at that stage, but they could be still down there in the battle. Let's see what happens. United is the interesting one insofar as they've West Ham away on Sunday. Their away record is absolutely shocking this season. You've seen it last night against Brighton, but even so, going to West Ham, never an easy place to go. West Ham, of course, themselves in the midst of this relegation battle as well. Not safe yet, could do with points on the board. And I'm sure Moyes would love to put 3 points on the board this weekend just to give him that bit of space between himself and the relegation battle so he can focus fully on the Europa League conference coming up. So that would be his probably thinking. United really, really poor on the road. West Ham decent at home. Let's see what happens. Then they've got Wolves at home. You would expect probably get a win out of that, I would imagine. Bournemouth away will be an interesting one as well. Bournemouth probably are going to be safe at that stage, I would imagine. So I'm not too sure how that's going to pan out. That might be the away one that they get. Then they've got Chelsea at home. Again, with Chelsea, we just don't know what's going to happen there. It's just, you could see Chelsea nearly losing all their games out till the end of the season. And then Fulham at home the last day of the season. And who knows what could happen there with Fulham. We've seen these last games of the season, last day, what can happen and stuff like that. So let's take some comments. Morris is in. I still think City will win the league. Just tomorrow could be one of those days. Could be. It could be. I just can't. You'd be a brave man to bet or back on any result for Leeds tomorrow. I really do. I just think it'd be really, really difficult. Acers City will be winning every single game in all competitions. Acers is on. They're going to do the treble then, are they? Going to do the treble. Certainly looking like it. Still a sexy beast, baby. Absolutely. Acers, Newcastle will destroy Arsenal defence easily. Their attacking players will be chomping at the bit. Let's see what happens. That's an interesting one there. So, I mean, you would imagine if Newcastle beat Arsenal on Sunday, but then, like, it's more or less that's it. But that would be probably it, I would imagine. I fully expect City to absolutely destroy Leeds. Be very, very surprised. United have a few hard games left. Yeah, they absolutely do, Mark. Their form at home has been decent, and if you look at it, Wolves, Chelsea, and Fulham, how much are they going to be able to do there? It's the West Ham and the Bournemouth game maybe might be enough, but let's see what happens. And they do also look. The one thing about United as well, not only in terms of last night against Brighton and stuff like that, they look banjaxed on their feet as well, don't they? They look tired and as if they've ran out of ideas. You've Ten Hag on the sideline, and he's trying to G them up and get them going to do the things he wants them to do. They look absolutely powerless. They're after going full distance in both domestic cups, quarter-final of the Europa League as well, and they've gone decent in the league so far. So like it could be catching up on them here, and just if we can just stay in there, as I said on Dave's stream earlier when we were talking about it, I don't want us to drop points and then they fall away, and we had the opportunity maybe to do something. So that's the risk at the moment. I'm holding out, hopefully. West Ham rest all their players for United because they weren't getting anything out of City. Yeah, could be right. Absolutely could be right. Spot on, Acers. The Dave Moyes derby on Sunday will be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And geez, it'd be madness, wouldn't it? Imagine if we could get by Brentford tomorrow now, get 3 points. We'd be within a point of them. And if West Ham were to beat them then on Sunday, that would be absolutely crazy. And then if Arsenal could beat Newcastle, we'd be within 3 points of Newcastle. So I know the gaffer's playing it down at the moment. I know everyone's playing it down and stuff like that. But I think it's really, really, for Liverpool Football Club to be in the Champions League is really, really important. It's been a terrible season. Really, really tough to get through it. But if we could get top 4, that would be incredible. Really, really incredible. But yeah, the Dave Moyes derby on Sunday will be interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And look, West Ham could do it. They have the players. Jared Bowen's in there. Antonio's in there. Paqueta's in there. Ben Rama's in there. Like, they've plenty of players in there that can do a job. And if you look at that midfield last night, the way Brighton dealt with them in the second half and stuff like that, they just got overrun. And West Ham are more than capable of doing that. And West Ham need points on the board. They're fully in that relegation battle as it stands right now. 7 p.m. kickoff Sunday too. Unusual. Yeah, it is unusual. Yeah, interesting. But it means like we have like a full flavour of weekend of football, which is pretty cool as well. Mark's in. Was worried on Villa, but still tight. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be the same. That Villa game could be the one that kind of stops our charge, if you like, But we're at home, you know what I mean, and that's always a great leveler for us as well, being at Anfield and stuff like that. But again, like everything, we can't be coughing up the chances that we coughed up to Fulham, because if we cough up those chances tomorrow, Tony will take them and Bueno will take them in their stride, no problem, and put them away. I think we got to be really on it tomorrow. Be very careful of the high line with the press, especially with the speed about those guys and the power of them as well. The only concern I have is Hendo isn't going to make it by the looks of things, and Harvey's going in. And if Harvey goes in, where his skill and his eye for a pass is really good, it's his physicality that would worry me against that Brentford midfield. But let's see what happens. Acers, Ten Hag won't make same mistakes again. Fred cannot be started last night. United midfield badly needs Eriksen to be starting. Yeah, I don't know. It was a strange one as well, because they're going up against Brighton as well. Brighton are a real good team. But I thought Fred started out all right, but I thought he, as the game went on, he just faded away, and most of the second half he was non-existent. But yeah, he could look. He's been trying to find a formula for these away games. There's no doubt about it, and he hasn't been able to find that formula. Now, you could argue last night they were as close as be damned to getting a point, and probably should have. But Shaw, that moment of madness, giving away that penalty, and McAllister putting it away, took all 3 points to Brighton. But they should have really come away with a point last night. Ericsson has crocked every game he's finished. Yeah, absolutely. He looks. I don't know what's happened to Ericsson since he came back off the injury there about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. He just looks like he's aged rapidly. He looks banjaxed. And if all else fails, blame Fred and Scott. Yeah, I mean that's the narrative, isn't it? It was interesting last night to listen to it. Anthony Martial as well. What does Anthony Martial offer United, with the exception of a wage bill? I mean, it's madness to think. Like, they put him out on loan and stuff like that, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him and send him back. And he's back there now, and like, it's just, I don't understand the love in for him. I don't think he offers the man. He must be so frustrating to play with. Rashford as well. Rashford isn't going to be scoring in every game. It's crazy this season. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Rashford as well, and I was listening to one of, I think, Jamie's channel today, and Jamie was saying that this purple patch that Rashford has been on, apparently he's only scored 2 goals since February or something like that. I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but that's what the talk was. So it'll be interesting to see. But it's just, he looks like he's ran out of gas as well. He also looks like he's playing. He's had a few knocks this season in the last couple of weeks and stuff like that, going down the tunnel at Old Trafford a couple of times. I wonder, is he okay? I just wonder, is he okay here? Because if he's, at the end of the day, if he's not scoring for them, who is? You know what I mean? It kind of dries up quite a lot then, you know. Cheapy, Martial has some chance. Yeah, absolutely. But the EPL is the strongest and hardest in the world. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely. 100%. Without a doubt, no argument there. I don't think from anyone, not even the staunchest of La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Dutch League, French League, would have any argument in relation to that. But how do you see this going, lads? I mean, do you think is it going to end up with United and Newcastle taking the honours for the Champions League, or do you think Liverpool or potentially Brighton might have a chance? I think Brighton just have too many tough games. I don't see them getting the points on the board. Can you see us running out, winning those 4 last games and putting another 12 points on the board, which I think brings us to 71 or something like that? Would 71 be enough to get top 4? Let's see what happens. Ian's in. Well, that's what injuries are going to do to a player, no matter how good they are. Absolutely. See, Shelby had a falling out with the Forest manager. Yeah, absolutely. This weekend is the final day of the EFL leagues. Yes, that should be interesting to see how they all pan out. And then we can look forward to the playoffs. Should be really, really interesting. That playoff in the championship is going to be absolutely electric. Interesting to see who makes it. I think this weekend is crucial for top 4. We will know after this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. It's we're just running out of games. So what can you do? I can just see us miss out on top 4. Yeah, just marginally, Mark, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting, though. It's going to be interesting insofar as if we can get the win against Brentford, close that gap. And if Arsenal can beat Newcastle, they have to keep the title race going in whatever shape, form, or fashion. And if West Ham could do a number on Man United, then let's see when we tighten that gap, what sort of pressure that puts on teams above us. Let's see what they can do. It's not like we haven't before come with a late charge and gone in there and snuck in there. So let's see what happens. But wouldn't it be absolutely unbelievable, Liverpool getting the top 4 from where they've been? Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, so that's really it. I just wanted to jump on, have a quick look top 4. Of course, if you want to follow us on TikTok, just scan that QR code on your screen. It'll bring you straight to our TikTok page as well, and you can have a bit of fun on there as well. We're dropping shorts and videos there every day. I dropped a beauty for Morris there today. I don't know, Morris, if you've seen that Bear Camp one. The goal against Newcastle, just to pump you guys up for that Newcastle game, that Bear Camp goal. What a goal. The flick around the side, unreal. Ian's in, and of course, there's the lazy ones that just won't do feck all when they're out there playing. Absolutely, absolutely. Beauty, yeah, it was a beauty, Morris, wasn't it? What a goal. I sent it on to Coyle as well and on to Dale. Coyle got back onto me. Coyle was saying to me it's his favourite Bearcamp goal, or I think he might have even said his favourite Arsenal goal. I'm not too sure, but absolutely, what a goal. Unbelievable. Reminds me of Prime's no goal. Oh, good Lord. Can you imagine? Imagine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but unbelievable. Imagine if you had Bearcamp on that team now. Good Lord. Imagine the damage he would do. But that's it, folks. Short and sweet. Quick look at the top four. Gave our thoughts on it. Do like the new kit. Sad to see James Milner gone, but these things have to happen. You have to free up the space if you want to recycle out your squad and get fresh meat in there to do a job and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. As I said, I will be back tomorrow evening with a match reaction and player ratings. No matter what the result, I'll always be here, as you know. I will be back Monday with the Monday mashup as well. And I'm sure we probably have a fantasy one going out. Morris will be hitting me up with a fantasy one later that'll go out either later on tonight or in the morning for you fantasy football fans. Don't forget to check out Thursday Tier Talk as well. We give our tips and picks at the end and beat the bookie of that show as well. Check them out. I put together 3 nice bets there. You'll see them on the show and stuff like that with good returns and stuff like that and not a stretch. Gamble responsibly, of course, if you're going to have a bet at the weekend. But stay safe. Enjoy the football regardless of the results. Hopefully we get the right one. Great show. Hitting the hay, bro. Enjoy. Have a good rest. Yeah, be doing it tonight. Awesome stuff. And Mark's in. Thanks. Let's see these last few games out and see what happens. Absolutely. And Acers, 2-0 Rovers versus Bohemians. Interesting league tightening up now. Bows at the top, I think it was, at the start of play. Let's see what happens. Until next time, folks, absolute pleasure. Of course, subscribe, hit the bell notification and the like on the video. Let's grow the channel. Heading towards 700 now. We're around the 680 mark. So 20 subs will push us into the 700s. That's what we want to see as we push towards the end of the season. Until next time, a pleasure.